absolutely. If we just switch to the organization, and they wanted to design a process that allowed workers to be the best version of themselves, and they wanted, to be able to communicate how that organization works. Now, if it's easier, we can just look at a startup with a blank canvas about how they should design it, or if you're a leader in an organization listening to this interview and you realize that we've been doing it wrong, how do they reverse out of that situation and create an environment where they can actually communicate their values properly, their mission statements, where people joining, and even people who are within the organization already, how can they reposition them?
I think the first thing I would say, and we talked a little bit about it, is you got to get really clear about how this company works when it's at its best. Right? And so one of these, I'm a researcher, so one of the easiest things to do is to say, hey, who are the most successful teams? What are the places where talent wants to go and work? Let's just study them. Let's study how they get work done. Let's study the principles they work from, that is the norms or ground rules. Let's study the practices or tools that they use. And let's study the platforms or technology that underpins the way that they get work done. Right? You're going to find your best way in that. Then the second step is to say, great, now that we know, how do we re-recruit everybody back to that way of working? Easy place to go is like onboarding. I'm so tired of onboarding processes that are like a day. That's when you should be teaching everybody the way this company works. Right? It should be 2, 3, 4 days where you're like, hey, you're going to have everything you need to take that first seat in your first team and know exactly how work gets done here. Right? Then it's about how do we re-recruit everybody back to the company. I remember talking to a creative director who worked for a CPG company. Every year, everyone went back to the academy. They went back to sort of reminding, hey, here's the way we get work done. They re-recruited people, and they actually hired off of those things too, which was pretty impressive. So that's one, is I think you got to find out who you are. You got to make sure you're re-recruiting everybody back to that.